Quite good start to the game. With the way how the real fighters started off this innings, that went on to be celebration moment for NELLAI Queens. In fact, its real fighters were losing their first wicket. Fearless fighters. Pardon me for the mispronunciation. It's fearless fighters. Ritika walks back to the pavilion. Surprising thing is, the batter name is Ritika and the bowler name is Ritika. Ritika dismissed Ritika, going 0. And this is something out of the box that's happening in the middle. Look at the celebrations, look at the joy. What kind of a match is this? Just look at that. Look at that. Easy celebrations. Ritika is making miracles on the field. It's back to back wickets. Now, this time, the new batter walks back to the pavilion. 0 for 2. Manaswini goes for 0. Pavitra Suresh, the new batter, in at number 4 for fearless fighters. Not the right start that she would have expected. After getting to know about the news of batting first, she would have taken some time in the middle that she's gonna be the batter at number 4. But she would have never thought that she will be batting at the first over itself. Because of the damage done by Ritika, she gave a positive start. Tremendous start, to be very honest. NELLAI won the toss. They have decided to bowl first. Well, most of the times bowling first was a good decision here. It's swinging, in swinging, again and again. This bowler is such a delight to watch out for. I can hardly remember the way how Bhuvaneshwar Kumar kick-started his innings as an international cricketer. The first ball he bowled was a clean bowled. I could hardly remember. It was well left by Mohammad Hafiz of Pakistan. We never thought it would hit the stumps. That's how the format started. Squeezes it between the players as a backward point fielder chases down the ball. Will be a couple of runs on the board. First runs here for the fearless fighters. Two runs coming on for that. Pavitra gets up the mark with those 2 runs. And the first over, it's 2 for 2. Two for 2. Fearless fighters with Janlin with the ball. Now this is a bright start for the NELLAI Queens cricket. They could do anything from here because it's 2 wickets down. It's a positive start for you. Then from here, you could do whatever you wanted to do. That's how things were going as of now. Goes for the single. They need a big partnership. Sudeshna Murthy, she's been spending a very long time with the non-strikers in, watching all the dramas happen at the strikers in. Finally, chance for her to bat on. Well, that's a good connection, good combination of batters adding together. Fearless Fighters had a wonderful journey throughout the tournament. It's a roller coaster ride for them. At one point of time they were dominating, at one point of time they were losing the games. Pavitra Suresh on strike. But what happens at the end is, it's not about your track record, it's not about the numbers that you maintain in the league phase of the tournament. It adds a bit of value, but at the same time, on a quarter-final day, the conditions will be completely different, the reactions will be completely different, the result might favor to a different opposition. Everything adding a value together. That's a good running between the wickets. Had a chance of that being a run out. So on a particular day, anything might happen in the game of cricket. As of what you're watching on screen, forget about the track record, forget about the kind of history that they're having. What are you supposed to do in today's game? That's important. This is such a wonderful shot. Unfortunately went for the single, but the connection that she got, the sound said it all. It should have gone for the boundary. That's quite good stop at the covers. Look at that. Good work. Trying to find it in the air, catches the call, run out opportunity. Should have been a dismissal. Almost got closer. Imagine if it was a wicket number 3, then what would happen? It's hitting the boots of the bowler, unfortunately. She did everything almost to the perfection. That's 2 over 6 for 2. Six for 2 with Fearless Fighters. Pavitra is trying to give a good fight back for Fearless Fighters along with Sudeshna Murthy. A wonderful angle, the shape that she's holding on. It's energetic to watch out for. You know, certain bowlers will make you watch them without any reason. It's as smooth as it could be. The run-up of Ritika with the way how she releases the ball. Genuine and swinging fast bowler. We could see these girls, someone like Ritika, could go for a very big stages as they're having such potential. Look at that run-up. Look at the way how she releases the ball. Just a simple delight to watch out for. You know, if she bowls at the right areas, if she attacks the stumps, there are 50% probability that she could get a wicket. She should try for that. That's the biggest problem. If you're bowling way outside the off stump, you're beating up the batter, you're confusing the batter, but still you're not getting the reward that you deserve. She already got the rewards, but still I believe that she deserves to get a lot more rewards. I need a wicket for Ritika, to be very honest, with the way how she bowls. And let's wait and watch how Sudeshna and Pavitra are going to give a fight back. Strong shouts and the bails were flying off. The expectations are fulfilling here as Ritika gets a third wicket. Clean ball this time again as the bails were flying off. Sudeshna has to get back to the pavilion for single run. It's 7 for 3 and that's wicket number 3. As you could see those celebrations going on everywhere. This one was the previous dismissal. This is a celebration we're speaking about. 7 for 3 now, Fearless Fighters. Pansau Bhagya, the new batter. In at number 5 for fearless fighters, Pansau Bhagya. A lot more duty to be done for her. With Ritika holding up the ball, now she gets a reward that she deserves. Such a wonderful in-swinging bowler. Coming at the right point of time for this team and performing really well. Another in-swinging delivery. That's why we said if she tries to attack the stumps again and again, there are a lot of possibilities of her getting a breakthrough. You know, if you bowl outside the off stump, you may be bowling well, you may be getting a beaten, you may be getting the batter to get misjudged of the ball, but what happens is there won't be any wicket falling. There is just appreciation, not reward for you. So to get that reward, of course, they have to grab another wicket. Stump to stump will work well. Cut shot, that's dropped. That's dropped. Should have been the 4th wicket for the bowler. It was an easy sitter dropped at the short third woman region. Take back a look at that. It was in the air for a long time. Easy catch for the fielder. Should have taken that. End of 3 overs, 8 for 3. Having a bit of moment over there. Janelin continues the ball. The way how it moves, it holds up a lot of value. Pavitra Suresh on strike. Slightly moving away from the batter. 2 different bowlers bowling with 2 different styles. With Ritika in swinging the ball, Janelin is guiding the ball away from the batter. And she's having a simple technique. She's walking and then running and then releasing the ball. It's been moving a bit outside the off stump. You know, at this point of time, batters will hesitate to go for the fearless stroke makings. They won't throw the bat that easily as it challenges their conditions. Run out opportunity should be kept in control. These cheeky singles are pretty much mandatory, but at the same time, you shouldn't lose another wicket for searching for a single run. Pansau Bhagya on strike, having the fine leg at the deep. That gives you the kind of clarity that at any point of time catches the call, and that's taken. This time no mistakes done by the fielders. It's wicket number 4. It's Pansau Bhagya losing her wicket for just single run. This time Janelin gets her first wicket. Taking back a look at that, it was moving away from the batter as she's throwing the bat, not getting the timing that she is looking for, and that's how the wicket have fallen. Celebrations everywhere here. Wicket number 4, 11 for 4 fearless fighters. New batter. Vaishnavi, the new batter, goes into the back foot to defend the ball. She's having a lot more duty to be done. 17 more overs to bat on to get yourself onto the game. That's not the start that they were looking for. Lost ball to end this over. Another close delivery. Every ball seems like a wicket delivery here. That's end of 4 overs, 11 for 4 fearless fighters. Ritika continues to bowl, still having the same shape, same swing. Such a smooth bowler with the way how the ball travels from her hand. That's a good running between the wickets between Pavitra and Vaishnavi. They steal the second run. It's 13 for 4 with Pavitra, Suresh and Vaishnavi. We're trying to build this partnership to the next level. Now you have to cut down your projected score. You have had a final score in your mind at the end of 20 overs. Initially, it may be 140 or it may be 150. But now after losing early 4 wickets, now you have to cut down your expectations. It probably should be around 100 or maybe 110 will be good total at this point of time for fearless fighters, so that they'll be having something to fight on. Gradually moves into the batter. But again, the same mistake that happens regularly for Ritika's. I won't say it's a mistake, but she shouldn't waste much of time. She can continues to bowl to the stump line, but she's having a different game plan. What she does is she's bowling outside the off stump again and again. Then all of a sudden she's bowling to a stump line delivery, which will be a surprising call. With all of them being in control, can we see another wicket? As Ritika is really looking in good touch. This is not something that we are expecting from Ritika. A proper placement here from Vaishnavi to get off the mark. That gets the first boundary and first runs with the bat for Vaishnavi. Such a wonderful stroke making. Just taking back a look at that. That's how it went for the boundary. Now she'll be under good control on what she is doing. This is what pretty much mandatory for them. You have to attack the set bowler. You can't just be on the back foot throughout the innings. Then you can't take things under control. Another juicy drive between the fielders. Back-to-back boundaries with proper timing. She's not desperate to score runs on the board. She waited for the right balls to attack, and she is attacking the right balls. And look at that placement. That matters a lot. This is proper placement from Vaishnavi. (22 for 4). Proper timing, which gets a single. Janelin with the ball. Strong shout from the wicketkeeper. No signs of the on-field umpire rising of his fingers. Will be just a dot ball. Both Vaishnavi and Pavitra. This is quite crucial for the batters. It's not a pleasant atmosphere to bat on, but if you bat well in these kind of situations, then you will be rated high. Swings and misses out. Couple of dot balls with Vaishnavi and Pavitra Suresh. This is the power play dominated by NELLAI Queens, especially Ritika along with Janlin. Another good moment. If the batters were not intending to go for the shots, you can't exactly invite them for the shots and beating up them with a wicket. It's always a front step. If you're beating up a lot more wicket, then just go for the stump line attack. You're dominating this game. The squad looks good. Janlin should continue bowling onto the stump lines, and they should continue with the same kind of field positioning despite of the power play, a post power play, until the batters free themselves by building the partnerships. Last ball of power play. Another outside off stump delivery, not fetching any wickets over the 6 overs of 23 for 4 fearless fighters. "23 for 4, fearless fighters." Just single run on the previous over. Dwarka, the new bowler. A left arm pacer, in fact medium pacer. Starts off with a single over there. "24 for 4. If you're just joining the live, this was what happened. Ritika dismissed 3 batters early in the innings, along with Janlin dismissing a batter. The top order of fearless fighters strumbled by the bowlers of NELLAI Queens. Now it's a revival process from Vaishnavi and Pavitra Suresh. These 2 batters have to work on the revival. Good to see them having the same kind of field positioning as of what they did for the power play. There is a sweeper cover at the deep, and there is a deep skylight fielder. The rest of the fielders are standing within the 30-yard circle just to avoid those singles and pushing the batters under pressure. Continues to bowl Dwarka. Wonderful bowling action. Typically left-handers will always impress us. Both left-arm spinners and left-arm pacers were having different style of approach altogether, and this is one among them. This is unacceptable at this point of time. Dwarka is missing her lines. Sometimes it used to happen, but at this point of time, there is a lot more pressure for fearless fighters. You can't do anything that eases out the pressure from fearless fighters. You should do something to control things under constraint. The only focus should be to break the partnerships. This is quite good. This is the area where she has to bowl. A typical left-hander's delight, Dwaraka. We've grown up watching such a kind of great left-arm pacers in the international cricket, with the one being Wasim Akram, the greatest legend, along with so many other left-arm pacers. Swings and misses out. She should be very careful. If she lifts her toes, the wicketkeeper behind the stumps will be hitting the bails out of the stumps. Slightly good delivery, pitching outside the leg stumps, and the 7 overs 28 for 1. Jansi Jeena, the new bowler. A change of bowling here. Ritika will be continuing her last over in the lateral part of the innings. There has been a big confusion because some captains will go with the set bowler for the 4th over, and some captains will restrict from the 3rd over. And this seems to be typical and logical because you need 1 over for that bowler. Sometimes if you are expecting for 1 more wicket so that the entire batting unit will be stumbled, then you can come up with that bowler with the 4th over. It's up to the individual, it's up to the thought process of a captain. Owen Morgan will be differently thinking Pat Cummins will be differently thinking, Rohit Sharma will be differently thinking. So it's about the confidence and the clarity that they are having about their game plan that matters a lot. This is unnecessary stuff in the middle as they were leaking runs over there. Jansi Jina continues to bowl. Pavitra Suresh on strike. Just angling in the right areas, just attack the stumps again and again. That's the formula you're having to win this game. Focus on the stumps, attack the stumps. It's gonna be an interesting thing to watch out for with the way how Jansi is going to adapt to this game. Don't bowl outside the off stump, they're just leaving the ball. And this will be wide delivery. It's quite simple formula for them. They have to attack the stumps. 50% chance of dismissing the batters will be there. Just 2 boundaries coming in this over. Still there is a bit of defensive approach from fearless fighters. And Jansi Jinnah has to take control of this. This mindset and this approach can give a lot more confidence to someone like Jansi Jinnah. This is quite good. And this is what I've been speaking about. The line that she should target. The length should be altered a bit low. But let's come back to that later. But as of now, it's about the line that she is bowling. She has to attack the stumps. Will be a wide ball. Defensive approach is not something that needs to be implemented at this point of time, especially when you're bowling between 8th over and the 15th over. It's something called middle overs in T20 cricket. Whatever the situation may be, in middle overs the bowling side will target to dismiss the batter. In middle overs the bowling side's target will be focusing on the wicket column, not on the run rate. Concede whatever the runs that you're expecting, but what's most important is you should dismiss 2 to 3 batters within the span of time. For that, the attempt should be attacking the stumps. Missing down the legs. No chance of that being a dismissal. Another dot ball to end this over. That's 8 overs. 33 for 4. Slight bit of movement with the ball. Right from the moment she started bowling round the wicket. This is overthrow and unnecessary stuff in the lateral part of the innings which goes for the boundary. Should have not happened, but this happened out of their control. Look at that. This is where it all started, and that eventually goes for a long way to the boundary. Quite unnecessary. Leaking some runs on the board. With the kind of start that they have got initially in the innings, they've been leaking runs and easing out the pressure out of the batters. That needs to be kept in control. "11 of 15, Vaishnavi, and Pavitra 17 of 22. These two batters were building the partnership for the 6th wicket, 5th wicket in fact. Another bit of movement. As long as you leave space to the batters to extend their arms, as long as you invite the batters to play shots in the offside, it's not gonna happen for NELLAI Queens. Just spot on with the stump line attacks, then you could have a lot more impact in this game. Try attacking the stumps. There is a bit of movement with the ball. All of the bowlers of NELLAI were moving the ball really good. Then it's a lot of opportunity for them to fetch a wicket at this point of time, unless you're introducing the batter for the cover drives and cut shots. 39 for 4. But Pavitra Suresh and Vaishnavi are building the partnership to the next level. And those extras should be kept in control. Continues to bowl Dwaraka. This is quite good. This is something we've been speaking about. If she continues to bowl in the same area again and again, there are a lot of possibilities of her dismissing the batter. And that's how the game goes so far. With Pavitra Suresh and Vaishnavi, were not interested in approaching those stump line deliveries. They love to play those cover drives and cut shots, which actually most of these bowlers were intriguing. Look at that, look at that. Bowling outside the off stump. And run out opportunity directed. That the fingers goes up over there. Wicket number 5 here. Fearless Fighters were losing their 5th wicket. 39 for 5. Just take back and look at that. This throw went on to be a direct hit, and that dismisses the batter. You could see that happening. What happens in the middle of this game? Another wicket, another breakthrough. It's 39 for 5. And Pavitra has to depart. .39 for 5 with the last ball of this over. Played for the pull shot, proper placement, got the gap, wonderful stroke making. Good start to Vishnu. She came as a number 7 batter, but look at the standards of that batting. She's such a delight to watch her for. This is the pull shot that we're speaking about. Natural talents, you can't stop these things happening. 43 for 5. Jansi Jina continues to bowl. 43 for 5 in 9.1. Positive approaches here from the bowlers of NELLAI Queens. Solidity. Pardon me for the misjudgment. It was not Vishnu, it was Vaishnavi who scored the boundary in the last over. Vishnu is now facing, as she was standing at the non-striker set in the previous over. Now she's facing, she came at number 7. This is the regular problem of all the bowlers of NELLAI Queens. Unwantedly they are going too defensive. You know, it's not bad about bowling at the outside of stump deliveries, but it's always about the one who holds on the pressure. Now the pressure is with Fearless Fighters. Now you could attack easily by bowling the stump line deliveries again and again. Because if you continue to bowl way outside the off stump, that's gonna add a lot more value to Fearless Fighters. They will set themselves really well by playing outside off stump deliveries. This is quite good, missing down the leg. Look at that, the probabilities were too close to dismiss the batters. With couple of deliveries to end this over. So many dot balls coming on this over, just 2 runs, with one being wide ball and the other being leg byes. Vaishnavi on strike. This is the right length that we're speaking about. The line and the length were spot on. If she continues to bowl at the same areas, then there are a lot of possibilities of Jhansi getting a first wicket today. Will that be this delivery? Vaishnavi facing Jhansi. Straight away going way outside the stump. Wonderful delivery to end this over. 10 overs, 45 for 5. .45 for 5. Alagarani, the new bowler, starting off with a white ball. Vishnu, 0 of 4 balls, taking her own time in the crease. Couldn't make the connections that she is looking for. Another one into the back foot. Alagarani starting out things off really well. She's getting a couple of dot balls. This time an easy single for the batters. Wonderful running between the wickets. Just maintaining on things and what needs to be done at the right point of time, rather than going on with unnecessary stuffs. The planning has been quite good from Vaishnavi. She's keep on increasing the numbers by ones and ones and ones. You know, that kind of creates an impact slightly. Will be just a single. Swings and got the connection better. No chance of going for the single. Just single run came off this over with the bat, and the other being a white ball. 2 runs overall with one more to complete this over. Just punches it through the covers. With that single, it brings the end of this over. 11 overs, 48 for 5. 48 for 5 in 11 overs with just 9 more overs to go. What will be the final total at the end of 20 overs? That's a big question waiting in front of us. With Dwarka continues to bowl at the different end, the typical left-arm medium pacer starts off with the dot ball. These middle overs were the most challenging phase where everyone, the bowlers were expecting to bring some wickets, the batters were expecting to save the wickets, the viewers were watching some entertainment. So the middle overs were challenging for everyone. But yes, things could be taken under control at some point of time. That's a cheeky single again. They've been rotating a lot more singles in a regular interval of time. Another wonderful delivery for the wicketkeeper. Look at that. She was not expecting that to be that far. Interesting to see with the way how she's bowling a couple of dot balls. Dwaraka, at some point of time, she might be hitting hard on the wicket column, be attacking the stumps. That's quite interesting. With one more to end this over. Such a wonderful bowler, Dwaraka, just placing the balls at the right areas. 2.5 overs, 0 for 16. Single run came off this over. Another wonderful shape. Look at that, the way how the ball went away from the batter. Dot ball in this over, 49 for 5. Another strong shouts. Couldn't convince the umpires. The last over went on for just single run. Now Alagrani continues to bowl. Vaishnavi on strike. 49 for 5. She's holding on a bit to take things under control. But what's most important is you have to tackle things as quick as possible. This time into the back foot will be just a single. 50 up here for the fearless fighters. This has been a struggling inning so far in this innings, but still they were managing things into a 50-run mark with a contribution of Vaishnavi by scoring 19 runs so far. Now it went back for the normal things. I could see a bit of slowishness in the wicket comparing to the previous day's game. I may be wrong, but I feel that the batters were playing a bit of early just because of the slowness of the condition. Maybe it's because of too hot conditions. The day 2 reacts differently comparing to the day 1. It's very hard, of course, if you continue playing 90 overs game every single day. Probably after the third day, you could see a majestic change in the conditions that could challenge the batters. But this was just two T20 games in the previous day's game, and now the second day is actually challenging one for them. Probably after playing 80 overs, and there were another 40 overs played in the morning, so that's adding a lot more value to this condition. It's having a bit of grass in the middle, still it's green, it's not dry grasses. It still supports the fast bowlers to extract a bit of extra bounce. But when it comes to steadiness, the typical stag nature, it's not that much today. It's slow and bouncing, taking its own time to reach the batter. Another close call, run out opportunity. These throws should be kept in control. Everything was in hands for her, but she spoiled the opportunity to dismiss another batter. Just take back a look at that. This is the dismissal that we're speaking about. The throw went wrong and everything went out of control. End of 13, it's 52 for 5. Continue. Jansi Jina, 2 over 6, 0 dismissals, 52 for 5 as of now. They had a bright chance of making it a 6, but as the run out opportunity went on to be a misjudged throw. Finds the aerial route into the proper placement, and that eventually went for the boundary. Good try from the fielder, but couldn't stop that going for the boundary. A much needed boundary at this point of time for Vaishnavi. She's fighting back for a very long time, and that moves to the boundary ropes.
Commentary was where
Continues to go with the dot ball. It was Vishnu, in fact, who got the boundary over there. 57 for 5. Fearless fighters. Jansi Jina. Still, there is a bit of movement. In fact, a huge movement. Even after pitching the ball, there is something for the slow bowlers, the one who moves the ball really well. If they use that angle properly, we could see a lot more impactful bowling performance today from NELLAI Queens. Yorker attempt. The only thought process that runs in the minds of the middle order batters, in case if the wickets are far in early phase of the innings, it would be like not to lose the wicket as early as possible. So having said that, if you have such a kind of mindset, you will never lose next wicket. Even the top quality batters will lose the wickets. Sometimes tailenders will never, because the only intention for them, if you have clarity on what you're doing, then you will do it with full perfection. With a couple of dot balls, that brings the end of this over. 58 for 5. Vishnu on strike. Lost 6 overs in hands. They somehow managed to build the partnership to the next level in terms of wicket column, in terms of overs, but in terms of runs, it's not moving from that old position. Can we expect a triple digit mark at the end of 20 overs? That's a big question out here. Rare possibilities of that being happening. Even we didn't saw much of boundaries in this innings. Very rare often we've seen some boundaries. So there is a bit of pressure over there for them with Alagarani continues to bowl. Goes for the wide ball. Another dot ball from Alagarani. Just pushes through the covers for single. Dot ball over there. 62 for 5 with Vishnu and Vaishnavi were fighting hard in the middle of this innings. That eventually goes for the wide ball. Things were under complete control. It's a good shot in the air and will be just a single. Last 2 balls of this over. This has been pretty expensive over, but that ends up as a wicket column. Vaishnavi's long fought now coming to an end. 22 of 31 deliveries. Now she is finally losing her wicket to Alagarani, who's been bowling couple of extras again and again in this over. Now finally she is giving us the breakthrough that they are looking for. 64 for 6. 64 for 6. Rebecca, the new batter, cuts it at the point direction and getting off the mark with its single. End of 15 over, 65 for 6. Dwarka back into the attack to bowl her 4th over with Rebecca and Vishnu are the two batters. Rebecca on strike. Another strong shouts. Everybody were appealing for that dismissal. Not much reactions from the on-field umpire. Just taking back a look at that. Maybe the on-field umpire would have got the proper view of that. With Dwarka continues to bowl. Swings and got the connection better, and that raises out to the boundary ropes for the boundary. A much needed boundary from the bats of Vishnu. She's taking her own time in the middle. Now finally she's meeting the ball really well. Look at the timing, look at the balance, and that reaches the boundary ropes easily. Boundary after a very long time. Eventually that comes out from the bat of Vishnu. Continues to bowl Dwarka. Played through the covers. Will be just a single. With one more to end this over. 15.5, 71 for 6. Trying to build the partnership to the next level. They will try to restrict. They will try to score more than 100 or more than 110. But whereas the mindset of NELLAI Queens will be to restrict the runs within 90, that could be psychologically impactful total for them. Another attempt for the big shot. Will be just a single to end this over. End of 16, it's 72 for 6. 72 for 6. Dwaraka completed her spell. 4 over 0 for 22. Trying to go for the single, no chance of that being a single. The common mistake from most of the NELLAI fielders were the throws were not up to the hip level or the leg level. All of the throws were above the height of the fielders. Then the bowlers or wicket keepers can't grab the ball and make it a run out. The throw should be as low as possible. Alagarani continues to bowl her last over. Swings and that's a wicket. Another wicket falls. Alagarani gets her first one. In fact, second one after a very long time. It's wicket number 7 for Fearless Fighters as Rebecca walks back to the pavilion. As you could see those gestures from Alagarani. This is not that dismissal. This is what you're watching. The celebration. As Rebecca walks back to the pavilion. .72 for 7. Squeezes for the single. And that's how it started over there. Revati Maha, the new batter, in at number 9 for Fearless Fighters. Straight away getting off the mark with a single. 2 wickets for Alagarani so far, with 4 more to complete her spell. Every single time we are thinking about if there is a boost in the run rate, there is a wicket falling. So they're way ahead of their opposition, NELLAI Queens. That's one of those reasons why they're at this position at this point of time. Swings and misses out. Another wicket falls over there. That's wicket number 3 for Alagarani. And her style of celebration, the smile, says it all. He earned that wicket. And Vishnu now has to get back to the pavilion for 12 runs of 25 balls. With that being the dismissal. Easy one. And the bails were flying off from the stumps. And final smile, we could see that. It's 73 for 8 now. Vashini, the new batter, starts off with the dot ball over there. And that ends up the spell of Alagirani. 3 for 14. It's 73 for 8 after 17 overs. Last 3 overs in the action. If you want to change anything in this context of this game, then these are those 3 overs. With Revati, the skipper, in fact the coach, is with the bat now. Jhansi Jina continues to bowl a 4th over. 0 for 12 so far, with Revati on strike. Can she bring any change that they're looking for? Let's wait and watch. Seems like she's not comfortable with the hat. You know, sometimes if there is over power of wind, you can't be comfortably standing with the hat. Viv Richards used to say that he is not much comfortable with the helmets. He loves to wear that cap presented by the West Indies cricket. She's going for the big shot. It was in the air. And that beats the fielders comfortably. Will be a couple of runs on the board. And that's what they're looking for, fearless fighters. As the coach doing the job at the right point of time, Revati. This is now 75 for 8 in 17.2 overs. Continues to bowl Jhansi. She wants a single, Revati, but hesitating at the other end. That went on to be a run out. Now it's wicket number 9. Vashini was not ready for that single. And she was waiting for the call, and finally the wicket have departed. Another wicket fall, 76, in fact 75 for 9. New batter, Rashita, the new batter, the final batter in at number 11 to accompany Revati. Jhansi Jina continues to bowl. She's adding a lot more pressure to all the batters. Will be a wide ball. Things should be kept in control. You couldn't leak much runs in terms of extras, but today NELLAI Queens have leaked a lot more runs to extras. Or else it would have been under the 60s at this point of time. Just pushes a dot ball as Revati doesn't want to go for that single. She's planning for the next over, it seems. She will take control of the next over. With one more to end this over. Dot ball, and that's 1876 for 9. Interesting to see with Wake the kind of bowling attack that they did. They used only 5 bowlers to bowl 4 overs each. I've never seen any team doing this in the past couple of days because teams have this extra cushion of using 6 to 7 bowlers and rotating them according to the game flow. I won't say it's a wrong decision, but it's up to the captain's perspective. But now NELLAI Queen's captain is having a standard approach, and she is using just 5 bowlers for the 4 overs each. A standard approach of T20 cricket, nothing more than else, nothing out of the box. And that's exactly working well for them. Chansey completed her spell in the previous over. 15 for 0 for her in the 4 overs. Now Janlin is having an over. Rashita and Revati were the 2 batters. Revati on strike. Last 2 overs. Can we expect this to be more than 90 runs on the board at the end of 20 overs? It's into the hands of Revati. Opens her left leg. She's not interested in that single. She knows the importance of her strike. Janlin. And taking back a look at that shot. Not an easy one to play on, attacking the stumps. That's a slog sweep by pushing her down the ground. A wonderful stroke making from Revati. Now they are into the 80s as the fielders are being spreaded. Now it will be really challenging for Revati. If she hits the ball, if it goes for the single, will she go for the single or not? That's the biggest question. And after the 4th ball, the captain should keep all the fielders forward. What a shot that is. That's a better connection. Got the distance over there. A maximum it is from the bats of Revati. She was confident. She knows that she don't want to go for that single. Just because of this reason, she has the capacity to hit the ball away from the ground. Goes for the maximum. A much needed sixer for her, as well as for fearless fighters at this point of time. 10 runs coming off 3 balls so far. A full touch delivery this time. Finds the hands of the fielder, but that's a drop catch. Should have taken, but that went on to be another maximum. Final decision, it went on for the boundary. In fact, taking back a look at that one, should have taken. Not a better connection out of it. Look at that. It was an easy sitter, but the fielder drops the catch. Now they are into the 90s. The dream run phase that we are looking for. Revati made things possible for fearless fighters. Now they are having something in their hands to fight against the NELLAI Queens. Now there is a catch opportunity. No chance of that being a dismissal. Another good thing is Revati is now at the non-strikers end. She will keep the strike back for the last over. The context of the game is completely changing now. Something that to fight on for fearless fighters. The game could go at any angle at this point of time. White ball. One more to complete this over. On strike Rashita. 0 of 3 balls. Thickish outside edge will be a couple of runs on the board. Lucky runs here for the fearless fighters. And this is how the 19th over completed, which went on to be an expansive over. 18 runs coming off it. 94 for 9 after 19 overs. .94 for 9. Ritika with the last over. The one who created the impact in the initial phase of the innings. To complete the innings, now that's a thickish outside edge. Will be a couple of runs on the board. Wonderful save at the deep. But they are not going for the third run. Smart work from Revati. Even though she had a chance to go for the third run, she's not going for that. Look at the stop. Look at the stop. Complete commitment to the game. 2 runs of the first ball. That keeps the scoreboard to 96. All they need is just 1 wicket. Will Ritika end up with the 4-wicket haul? Or is it going to be a run feast from Revati? She's 20 of 10 balls. Long on fielder was standing halfway in the ground. Another full toss delivery squeezes between the point fielder that travels for the boundary ropes. And that's 100 up here for the fearless fighter. It's Revati Maha. She's making wonders at the end phase of the game. Now there is a lot more hope for them in the second half of the innings. 100 for 9 it is. Such a wonderful batting display. Took up the responsibility. Restricted certain singles just to take back the strike. All of these because of one reason, that she wanted to make it bigger. It would have been some 76 or 80s at the end of 20 overs. Now it's into the hundreds. Drop catch it is. Drop catch it is. What's happening in the middle of this game? Already it's been a high intensity game. Now there is a life for this batter. So many drop catches were happening. Things were going completely out of control for them. But Ritika continues to bowl. Good work from Ritika, and the fingers were going up. That went on to be a white ball, but end of the day, that cameo is coming to an end. 24 of 12 balls. Revati Maha did her job to the fullest. She's walking back to the pavilion, taking back a look at that dismissal as Ritika gets her 4th one. With this way, as the wicketkeeper does a fantastic job behind the stumps. It's 101 for 10 at the end of 19.3 overs. Fearless fighters. 102 is the target here for the NELLAI Queens. Right, the second innings. NELLAI Queens require 103. In fact, 102 the target to win the game for NELLAI Queens. Goshika, Bhaskar along with Jansi Jina. Jansi bowled really well in the first innings. But with the bat now. And Vishnu with the ball. Vishnu tried really hard in the batting. And finally, it was Revati who turned the tide towards the fearless fighters. First ball of the second innings. Starts off with a legal delivery. Top quality cricketers, TNC level cricketers. Most of these cricketers have started their professional career. Few of them were in the learning phase. You know, at some point of time, all these cricketers, many of these cricketers will be in a big stage. It's up to the kind of growth that they are having. It's up to the learning and the way how they improvise their own games. Koshika on strike. Leaves the ball. This time the umpires can't free their arms, as this one is a wide ball. Will be interesting to see with the way how NELLAI Queens are going to capitalize the momentum, as some discussions were going on in the middle. Vishnu with the ball. First runs coming off the bat, and that picks the gap. Wonderful timing, good running between the wickets. That changes the gap, and Goshika is getting off the mark with that single. Enjoy. 2 for Nolas. Jansi Jina with the ball. Jansi Jina on strike. That's quite interesting delivery. She's holding up a right shape, Vishnu, and she's bowling in the right areas where the batters can try going for the cover drive but cannot play the cover drive. And this is such a challenging area unless the batter have some movement with the foot. You can't just throw the bat. Probably she can have a slip fielder to Vishnu, as she is bowling in the right areas. There are a lot of possibilities of Vishnu purchasing a wicket. Cuts the ball, and that's a good stop at the point direction. Will be just a single. They're having two fielders at the deep, with one being the third woman and the other being the sweeper cover. So if the batter tries to play the cover drive or the cut shot, most of these regions were being covered within circle fielders along with the deep fielders, and that's how the things were keeping under control. Vishnu continues to bowl. Squeezes in strong appeal. Wide the signal shows the umpire. Not much challenging total in front of them, but at the same time, NELLAI Queens should try to chase the target within the 17th over. You can't take the game long fair, which is going to advantage fearless fighters anyway. So it's always important to chase down the low targets as quick as possible, not giving enough space for the opposition. Attacking the stumps line. A proper timing, no chance of that being a single. Couple of dot balls in the middle. With one more to end this over, just bowling at the right areas, Vishnu If my guess is right, she will try bowling outside the off stump, inviting the batter to go for the cover drive. Let's wait and watch. Exactly, that's what happened. Bit of pushing back length that invited the batter to go for the cut shot rather than going for the cover drive. It's 5 for no loss after the first over. "97 runs required to win this game in 114 deliveries." On strike, Goshika. Vaishnavi with the ball to bowl the second over. Opens the pace of the bat, but the surprise is you will be having a player at the deep. She knows where she's bowling and she's having her fielders at the right position. That's the most powerful weapon a bowler should have. She's bowling at certain areas and she's having fielders at the right areas. Imagine the kind of intensity that holds back for someone like Vaishnavi. Now fielders on the leg side at the deep. Only 3 were standing on the leg side within the 30-yard circle. Another juicy push, and they couldn't go for the single. Swings and misses out. Another dot ball, couple of dot balls in the middle. With 96 needed of 111 to win the game. Another wonderful delivery. That's a bit of shape with Vaishnavi. She's moving the ball towards the batter. But the problem here is with the line that she's bowling. It's not LBW friendly. It's missing down the leg. If she bowls at the off stump line, eventually the movement will support the leg stump attack. That's where the Vaishnavi's areas should be. This is quite good, but way outside the off stump. Offers the batters to go for the single. Not much runs on the board in the initial phase of this innings, as NELLAI Queens were taking their own time in the middle. But the most important thing is, as long as you spend time in the crease, there are a lot of possibilities for fearless fighters to come back stronger in this game. It's always important to complete the game as quick as possible. Play fearless strokes, play quick runs on the board. Trying to find it in the air as well as in the gap as the fielders converging together. Good stop at the deep. Will be a couple of runs on the board from Goshika. 2 to end this over, that's 9 for no loss. 9 for no loss. Both Goshika and Jansi Jina trying to build this partnership to the next level. Looking at the way how NELLAI Queens have been traveling in this tournament, the Iron Lady Trophy Season 7, they had a wonderful journey throughout this tournament, in which, as of all the teams, they have played 6 games for their side, and among those 6 games, 3 went on to be in their favor, and 3 went on to be the losing games. Sudeshna, the new bowler, different approach from the skipper, using different bowlers for every single over. That starts off with a white ball. And we're speaking about the journey of NELLAI Queens. Of course, it all started with wonderful performances early phase of the innings, and they tried to maintain the similar kind of intensity throughout the tournament by beating up Rising Stars Cricket Academy by chasing down a target of 120 in 19 overs. Picks the gap, proper placement, but there is a fielder at the deep. That's a speciality of fearless fighters. I thought nobody were moving because there is a fielder at the deep. Wonderful placements. Speaking about the journey of NELLAI Queens, it all started by beating up Rising Stars Cricket Academy, and then in the very next game they have faced VCA Women's, again batting second, again chasing down the target of 90 in 15 overs, swings and misses out. Chasing has been quite good for NELLAI Queens so far in this tournament. They were pretty successful despite of that one game against GNES. They have lost that game by 31 runs by batting second. Then again they have came back stronger by batting really well in the upcoming games, losing against STG and MISA again by batting second. And then they went on to be another losing game against Abdul Malik Cricket Academy by batting second. That was quite crucial game for them. So it seems like chasing has been quite challenging stuff for NELLAI Queens. They were not much good at it, despite of some games went on to their favor, especially the game against Abdul Malik Cricket Academy. They failed to chase down a target of around 79, and even in another game for NELLAI Queens, they have failed to chase the target of 102, similar to what it is today. So you can expect anything to happen in this game unless or until NELLAI Queens try hard to score runs on the board in the initial phase of the innings, especially in the power play. So far no wickets. Punches it between the fielders will be just a single. Now the scoreboard keep on moving. Continues to bowl Sudeshna. Picks the gap and couldn't make much impact out of it. The partnership is gradually growing. Now what is that one thought you should never have in your mind is we are just having 102 in front of us. Don't think like that. You have to think we have to score 102 as quick as possible. If that reluctancy enters into the thoughts of the batters, then they'll think that okay, it's just 102, we'll take some time, then the game will eventually goes out of the players. They should take the target very seriously. It's 13 for no loss after 3 overs. 13 for no loss. A gentle push through the covers, couldn't get much connection out of it. Starts off with the dot ball. NELLAI Queens cricket. We're speaking about this aspect of the game. The attitude of showing some reluctancy. It used to happen in most of the T20 matches. If you're having a low target in front of you, what you think is, it's just easy, man, I'll make it happen. That's why the game goes out of your hands. And the second thing is, if you restrict yourself from scoring runs, okay, this is just 102, just 102, I have to play till the last over, then of course you're going to lose this game. There should be some sparkling attempt in the initial phase of the innings, unless or until if something goes out of your hands, then you can build the partnership. Another gentle push through the point direction. No chance of that being a single. There were much reluctancy. We are not watching much of singles today. We saw in yesterday's game there were a lot of singles within the 30-yard circle, even for those strokes which went like the previous one. It's about the right call and the commitment between the two batters. Look at that. She's not completing the stroke. She's pushing that through the covers. If you extend your arms and complete the stroke, there are a lot of chances of that going for the boundary. Couple of dot balls in this over. Good shot, it is proper placement. This is what the stroke we are speaking about. Complete control against opposition. Goshika Bhaskar waited for a very long time, and now this placement. Spectacular stroke making. And goes for the boundary. After 4 couple of dot balls, this is how you have to explode yourself. If you're good at playing strokes, just try to play the strokes. Don't push yourself for defenses. You should maintain the flow that you're looking for. There should be some rhythm for the batter that shouldn't get completed until the match gets completed. Another attempt for the good shot will be a dot ball. Turn this over. That's 4 overs, 17 for no loss. Sudeshna starting off with the dot ball. Couple of dot balls in the middle. Jansi is still taking her own time to score boundaries and most intensive stroke makings. Trying to play it into the back foot, but couldn't make much impact out of it. Jansi Jina should try to rotate the strike and give it back to Goshika, because one batter is looking in good touch and the other batter is also looking in good touch, but she will be taking her own time to get things under control. Until then, it should be gradually increasing in terms of scoring runs on the board. For that, you need a set batter on strike. That's well left. Wonderful bowling from Sudeshna. Another interesting deliveries to watch out for. Could be a maiden here from Sudeshna as she's taking things under complete control. Gentle push to go for the single. No maiden over. This is just single run coming off this over. 18 for no loss. Leaves the ball, starts off with the wide ball. Changing things under control. Goshika was the batter whom everyone are looking for to improve the run rate. You can't just fight back for the run rate at the end phase of the innings. We should be there at this point of time. And that's how things were going. Even most of the cricketers of the previous era believe that strike rotation is the key factor. Moving the scoreboard will work indirectly in many other ways to win the game. Will be just a dot ball. Continues to bat on Goshika. Will she go for another shot which she played in the previous over of Vaishnavi? This is not the right area to play the stroke. Such a wonderful delivery here from Vaishnavi. A gentle push. Couldn't fetch much runs over there. Swings and misses out, beaten by bounce. The wicket column supports NELLAI Queens, but still fearless fighters are fighting really hard, as this being the last over of power play. Another strong shout. Dot ball to end this over, 20 for no loss. Goes into the back foot. Placed it to the perfection. Couple of runs on the board here for the NELLAI Queens. Wonderful running between the wickets. Is there a chance for the third run? She was interested, but sends her back the striker. Gopika was sent back by Jhansi. Will be a wide ball. Just goes out of control from Sudeshna. You know what happens is, if certain batters try to score runs on certain areas, then things will go out of your control. Goes for the wide ball again. It's too hot here. The heat of this conditions were very high at this venue. Strong shout from the wicket keeper. That's quite close delivery. Should have been a wide ball if it is going just away from the wide line. Fortunate enough for the bowler, Sudeshna. Maybe that's the target area for Sudeshna, if I'm not wrong. I'm not sure where she's targeting ball. There is no much protection on the leg side deep. She's having a third man at sweeper cover at the offside and 4 infielders. Still getting a couple of dot balls over there. The third man, the sweeper cover, the backward point, cover point, extra covers, mid off inside the circle. Swings and got the connection better. It's traveling a long way in there. And what a stop that is. What an effort it is. I'm not sure about the result, but this is such a wonderful effort from the fielder. Good cricket all round overall. A good pull shot, a proper placement, and at the climax, this is how she stole the show. Wonderful effort at the deep. That's a craze for this game in India, especially in Chennai. Or of course they are from other regions of the city, but everywhere, wherever you're coming from, the passion for the game still holds on. Just single for that. That's quite surprising. Should have gone for a couple of runs, and the running between the wickets should be increased for NELLAI Queens. And that's one of those reasons why the scoreboard is still static. Another one into the back foot, this time no chance of going for the single. End of 7 overs, 25 for no loss. Swings and got the connection. A proper timing. That is a player at the deep. Revati with the ball. She came with the bat and she made miracles with the bat. And that cameo gave a fighting total for fearless fighters. Now it's up to the hands of Revati Maha with the ball to get the breakthrough that they're looking for. Another single push down over there. 27 for no loss. Just 75 runs required and 75 balls to win the game. Continues to bowl Revati Maha. Another one goes for the single. .28 for no loss. NELLAI Queens cricket. Solid, subtle, yet a bit slower partnership. They should try increasing the run rate as quick as possible. You can't spend a lot of time in the ground for just 100 runs. But exactly that's what's happening here. 3 runs coming off this over. Interesting thing is Revati have spent very short time to complete the over with the likes of Ravindra Jadeja. This is a good disciplinary activity. The attitude that she is having, the discipline that she is having, completing the over as quick as possible. Cuts it away between the fielders, but there is a player at the deep. The field positioning of fearless fighters was amazing to watch it for. 8 overs completed, 29 for no loss. It was 29 for no loss. This is wonderful sweep shot. And that goes for the boundary eventually. She was not predicting the exact direction of the ball, it seems. Look at that. I thought it was the boundary, but there was a fielder standing at the deep, but she unfortunately couldn't save the ball going for the boundary. 33-run partnership between the batters as Goshika and Jansi slowly building the partnership to the next level. They're ensuring that they are winning this game without having any lag in the middle overs. Pushes it, couldn't go for the single. .69 runs in 70 balls to win the game. Steps out and couldn't get the connections much better. She's heading back for the single. This time got the connection better, but she is running for the single. Wonderful running between the wickets. A proper understanding of the condition. If you start losing wickets, you will eventually start losing the game. Maybe that's the kind of formula that NELLAI Queens were approaching. A low risk stroke making, not making anything complicated, but this one is a wonderful shot as no fielders could stop that going for the boundary. Perfect placement into the gaps by Jansi. And not an easy one to play on. Well stretched sweep shot. And right boundary at the right time for them. 40 for no loss. They're actually planning the innings exactly to complete it at the 20th over. Completing it before is not something that their own interest. NELLAI wants to complete it only by the 20th over. That's quite okay. 62 of 67 to win the game. Extra flighted delivery from Vashini. And a dot ball to end this over. That's 40 for no loss. Swept the ball at the final region. And no chance for the fielder. Will be going for the boundary. Proper placement. Going for the boundary. Right now the right approach here from the batting side. The NELLAI Queens were started showing some interest in this chase. Now lot more interest. An intent to score the runs on the board. Now 58 of 65. Will be a dot ball. .44 for no loss. Top edge. Fortunate enough for Goshika to stay back in the creases. That's not reaching the hands of the fielder. This is what the exact intention of Revati, to restrict the opposition from chasing down the target. Further, they need to fulfill the wicket columns. Wonderful stroke making and good stop at the point direction. Good work at the deep. Should have been a run out. This has been wonderful running between the wickets. Right call here from Jansi. And they ran back for the second run. You're watching the same batters understanding each other for the past 1 hour, almost a hour. So this will boost their understanding, chemistry. So that's going to add a lot more to that partnership. Going over the long on position. No fielder standing at that position. That eventually goes for the boundary. Goshika Bhaskar. She is in a mission, taking on Revati, one of the key players in terms of thought process. She's a good thinker of the game, but eventually couldn't counter-attack Goshika. 50 up here for NELLAI Queens in 10 overs. With halfway through the innings, they were halfway through the chase. Now 52 in the next 60 balls to win the game. Starts off with a wide ball. Rebecca, the new bowler. Misses that. Should have been taken, but that eventually goes for the boundary. Disappointed fielder, but that should have stopped. Rebecca tried really well. It's fell short of the fielder and eventually goes for the boundary. Another welcome boundary here for NELLAI Queens, but this time from the bats of Jansi. I really love this approach of batting display from NELLAI Queens, as both the batters took their own time in the early phase of the innings. Even I was criticizing that effort, but now looking at the kind of transformation that they are showing, this is the way you have to chase down a target. Continues with the dot ball. Swings and got the connection better. No chance for the mid-on fielder to stop that. And that raises the boundary ropes. Another boundary, this time again Chansey. Now they're rushing things as quick as possible, attacking the new bowler. It's time to expand the fielders, it seems. 59 for no loss. Just 43 more runs to win the game. Good stop over there. Continues with the dot ball over there. 9 runs coming off this over. Another gentle push for the point direction. Will never be the single. Taking things under control. That has been wonderful effort to watch out for. Just one more ball to complete this over. 10.5 overs, 59 for no loss. Cuts it away, as that is the fielder standing at the deep. Will be just a single to end this over. 60 for no loss. As 10 runs coming off this over. Hope she's okay. Pavitra, new bowler. 42 needed to win the game for Pavitra. Gentle push through the covers. Both Jansi and Gopika have shifted gears and attacking the new bowlers. Now there is a change in the bowling as of what we're speaking about. Revati has been replaced by Pavitra. Goes for the wide. .61 for no loss. Got the connection better, and that goes for the boundary. Another welcome boundaries here. It was an invited boundary, in fact. She was standing over there, and look at that. Come on, hit me for the boundary. And eventually she scored that boundary. Good work here, as that goes. 65 for no loss at this point, to 66 for no loss. It's no ball. So there will be free hit offer for the batter. 36 more runs to win the game. Jansi Jinnah the batter. White ball and the free hit continues. Right at the moment we've seen Goshika Bhaskar wants to get the strike back, as she wanted that single. Maybe she's interested in the free hit too. Everybody is interested in free hit, of course. Swings and finds the aerial route. Oh, that's a close appeal. That's a close approach. Should have been a run out by Pavitra. Anyway, that's a good catch from Pavitra. She did things quite under control. Look at that. This is what the moment we've been speaking about. .69 for no loss. Cuts it between the fielders. There is a fielder at the deep. This is the one field positioning that's quite impressive. They saved a couple of boundaries right from the beginning of the innings by placing a fielder at that position throughout these 11 overs. Couldn't go for that cut shot. Both the batters were watching the ball really well. They were very comfortable with the shot selections. This is such a positive sign for NELLAI Queens at this most crucial game in quarterfinals. Will be an easy single for them to end this over. 71 for no loss. Sadhana, the new bowler, to bowl the 13th over. And still the run fees continues. Just 30 odd to win the game. Catch is the call, and that's taken. That's the first breakthrough here. Brings the Sadhana. The change of bowling is working well for fearless fighters. And NELLAI Queens were losing their first wicket as Jhansi Jina is walking back to the pavilion for 32 runs. Hugely flighted delivery. An easy catch, no mistake done by Revati. It's 72 for 1. Alagrani, the new batter. She got off the mark straight away with that single, and then Goshika's single. Now continues Alagrani on strike. 28 to win the game. Proper placement through the gap. And there is a fielder at the deep. So will be just a single. With one more to end this over. As things were quite under control, Sadhana contained 4 runs in this over. The most important thing is she brought the breakthrough that they were looking for a very long time. Now the flighted delivery will be a wide ball. Goes for the big shot. No fielder standing at the position. Will be an easy one bounce boundary. Goshika Bhaskar continues to score runs on the board. Look at the shot. A proper timing and placement was perfect. 13 overs, 84.